Nice. Look how green the garden and the grass is. We've had plenty of rain over the last 12 months, but it isn't always the case. Sometimes it's as dry as a bone and it's really difficult to keep the water up, even if you've got a small garden. But you might live somewhere that doesn't get a lot of annual rainfall anyway. So what do you do then? G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and you might not be aware that there is a type of raised garden bed that helps to solve the lack of water issue. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a raised garden wicking bed. We're going to go over to our website editor's place, Celia, and you're not only going to see how it's made, but you're going to see her beautiful small urban food garden where she grows just about everything that she needs for her and her family to eat. Let's get into it. And just like that, here we are with Celia.
Hi.
Let me introduce you first, because a lot of you probably don't know Celia's been working with us as our website editor. She also is a contributor, and her specialty is recipes that are formulated from her own backyard, growing the veggies and then turning them into these magnificent little recipes that she puts on the website. So if you haven't seen any of them before, make sure you go and visit our website and check out all the hard work that Celia's been doing behind the scenes to get our website pumping along. I think the easiest way that we can start this is by just explaining, first of all, what is an IBC?
An IBC stands for Intermediate Bulk Container. They're a 1,000 litre container. They're available worldwide, and they're usually used to transport liquids which may or may not be for human consumption.
Okay, so I'm thinking that these are right for human consumption?
The ones I have are, yes, definitely. You do need to be careful which ones you buy, especially if you're buying them second hand.
So you buy them from a reputable source?
I do. There's a gentleman who sells them on Facebook Marketplace locally here, and he specialises in these. He does them up for you, and they're all brand new.
So he cuts them in half.
And he fits the ag pipe to the edge, which is a really nice touch because it just makes for really easy, comfortable use, and you won't snag your clothing on any rough edges. You can also pay a little bit more and he'll drill the outlet hole for you and supply the ag pipe for your water reservoir.
What is the advantage of growing in one of these containers?
Time. You'll save yourself a lot of time watering because you only need to fill these, depending on the weather and your climate, every 2 to 3 weeks. Plus, your plants will have consistent access to moisture, so they can wick up the water as and when they need it.
If it pours down with rain, they've got an outlet.
They've got an outlet here, so
it just comes out of there.
Straight out of there. Your beds will not flood as long as your outlet is working properly.
And speaking of outlets, you do have an inlet then, the opposite, and that's where you generally water. You don't usually water from the top, but you can.
You can, but you do water from the top when you've got very small plants, seedlings, until the roots have grown sufficiently that they can wick up water from below. You need to top water. What
about microplastics and those types of things, the plastic degrading? Do you worry about that?
Not really. If you paint or enclose your IBCs to prevent direct sunlight reaching your soil, that shouldn't be a problem.
Anyway, you paint them because I reckon they look nice.
They do.
And the other thing is it can help preserve the plastic.
It increases the UV stability of the plastic.
Yeah. These two here that we've got in front of the camera at the moment, they're fairly new. You've been growing in IBCs for a long time. We've got some other, we'll show you, almost 12 years old or more.
Yep.
There's no difference at all in the feel of the plastic.
They're thick, strong and tough.
One thing I am wondering though is how much do you get them for? Are they worth it, say, compared to buying another raised bed, like a commercial raised bed?
I think they're worth it because in the long run they save you so much time and effort.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I paid around $100 each for mine.
Okay.
However, they can vary enormously in price between areas and countries. The price I might say here for my area could be vastly different for you.
Okay, that sounds fairly reasonable to get it in that state. already cut down and everything. But yeah, like Celia says, maybe it's different where you are. I'd be interested to know actually, do you use IBCs? What do you think of them? I know Rob Bob uses them for aquaponics.
Yep.
He loves them, and other people do that. I haven't got any, so I'm learning here today. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to come out and check this out. Once we get into building one, which we're going to do now, you'll see how it is constructed from basically the base upwards. So I think that's about it, isn't it? Is there anything else? If you've got questions, whack them down in the comment section below and Celia hopefully can answer them for you. All right, let's go make one up. So Celia, this is the one here.
Yep. This is the one we're going to fill today.
Yep.
Now, it's important to remember that you don't have to use the materials that I'm using. So if you go and have a look at the article on selfsufficientme.com that I've written about how to do wicking beds 2 different ways.
I'll link below for that article.
You'll see that as long as you've got the principles in place, you can use whichever materials are convenient and easy for you to find and affordable and all those things. As long as you've got the water reservoir in the bottom, fabric layer and a growing medium on top with your water inlet and your water outlet, you're free to change around the materials that suit you. The hole was cut for me. What I did was source this little pipe and screw that through into the hole so it's a very firm fit. What you see here is what's on the inside of the bed that we're about to fill. This is just a simple second-hand piece of shade cloth secured with a cable tie. Now, whether you put this on the inside or the outside of your outlet pipe does not matter. All that's important is that little bugs, insects can't get in and wreak havoc in your wicking bed.
Apart from this here, that's the bare skins of it as you got it.
Pretty well, and obviously I painted it first.
And you put it on a pallet?
You don't need to. I just felt like it suited me. I like my raised beds to be raised. Plus I needed to do a little bit of levelling because I do have a slight slope here, so I did all that first before putting anything in it.
Yep, of course you want it level or you're going to have water sort of stuck on one side, won't you? Yeah, the whole idea is that you don't want your plants waterlogged. You want them to access water when they want to and that water to freely drain out when it reaches a certain level. Okay, so what are the materials then that we're going to need to go from here?
We need sand for the water reservoir. You could also use gravel or scoria. Then we need to separate your water reservoir from your growing medium. So we're going to use a piece of geotextile fabric for that. I'm also going to add a couple of other little optional things. And then it's basically filling the bed with growing medium. And I'm working on hugelkultur principles. So we'll be using a bit of chipped organic material, some aged chicken manure, some garden soil, some bagged soil, and some general fertiliser as well.
Wow, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Again, if you want to go and have a look at the article, this is detailed step by step with very clear photos of how to do it.
See what a champion she is? She is so organised, the mirror opposite of what I am. All right, let's get into it.
Yep. What we're doing is just putting a thin layer of sand. We're not filling it with sand. So if we put probably 3 bags of sand in, that
first,
would be good.
okay.
Yeah. Now I'm going to level it.
So does it matter what sand?
It does need to be a washed river sand.
So no salt in it, obviously, yeah.
Correct. You don't want to be adversely affecting the pH of your growing medium. So this is used to just hold as much water as possible.
This is ag pipe. This has got holes in it.
Because I'm using sand, I needed to sock the ag pipe. So that's basically this stuff. And that's just sealed on the end. I had a couple of spare bits of ag pipe, so I've put, these are actually old stockings that I've put on there. And so they're just that's all just gonna sit like that.
And what's the purpose of the ag pipe?
This is just to hold more water.
Because the water will seep into these pipes.
Yep.
The sand won't go in there because you've got a sock on them.
I've got it socked, yeah.
And that way they won't clog up. And you've got this extra vessel of water in there to seep out when needed when it starts to dry up.
So we're just going to loosely secure this into place while we continue filling the bed. In fact, we'll just hold this pipe in the corner and I'll fully secure it properly when we're finished. Okay, so more sand.
Okay, yep. So it just basically has to cover, or it doesn't have to fully cover?
Doesn't have to fully cover, no, that's fine. But the main point here to take away is that you need your reservoir material, or if, whatever you're using, to come up to about the base of your outlet pipe.
Okay.
Again, this is only, one way of doing it. You can do it with bread crates or milk crates. There's pictures of that. I've done it with bread crates on the website.
Okay, so the next phase is the geofabric.
Yep.
This separates that sand and the base from the actual growing medium, yeah?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so how do we go? Oh, you want it
Just
up
sort
the
of-
sides a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so it's even as possible.
Okay, yeah, so you're not going to get
'Cause this
medium mixing in with the sand and coming over the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you don't want. So this,
Yep.
this is containing your growing.
Yeah.
This is an optional, putting in a couple of old bits of shade cloth, which will just create just another little extra barrier. So we'll throw a bit of sugarcane mulch in as well.
Okay, sugarcane mulch, just spread that around.
And then we'll do that. Okay, so our first part of the growing medium is just a layer of organic material. Now this is just offcut from my trees that I've had sitting there for about 3 weeks.
Yep.
And I just chipped these up yesterday.
Okay.
For this.
Cool.
Yep.
There's even a bit of paper in there. Oh, cardboard.
Cardboard, yep, that's fine too. So we'll spread this out. Banana leaves. Cardboard, which will help this break down.
Do you want me to break up the
as well.
paper?
The paper as well, yeah.
Or just fold it out?
Yeah, we can rip it up a little bit.
And why are we watering it?
Just to start that moisture retention and to start these materials breaking down.
Okay.
Like with any hugelculture bed,
Yep.
the larger pieces always take time to break down.
Yep.
Yep. So, and you'll find when you first go to fill up your wicking bed with water, it takes so much water, you'll feel like it's never going to be full.
Yep. Yeah.
So you may as well get that process started early.
Right.
Yeah. Next, we're going to put in some biochar.
Did you make this?
I did not. I bought this from Doreen Jackman at Nourished Landscapes. She's an amazing permaculture designer. And she runs workshops at her place out at Jimboomba. So if you're local, look her up. So we'll be putting a couple of layers of this into the wicking bed as we fill it up.
Okay. What's the purpose of the biochar?
It starts the breakdown of the larger pieces.
Yep.
And it helps with drainage.
This is just normal garden soil, is it?
It is, yeah.
And you want that poured in?
Yep.
Okay. Crikey. No wonder you gave me this job.
It's got some nice worms there.
Oh, yes. I was going to ask you about worms.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. So this soil is out of my cold compost down the back. And it's got some nice earthworms through it. It's been sitting there for just under about 2 years. So, yeah, now's the time to use it.
Yeah, okay. And have you found that worms grow really good in these beds, even though there's sort of water in the bottom?
So far, so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Now, I've got to say, the jury's out as to whether you should use bagged soil in a wicking bed or not. Some will say it's fine, some will say otherwise. I'm using it because it's cheap, I get it from around the corner, and it's easy for me to lift and carry, and I don't really quite have enough garden soil in my cold composts to fill the entire bed, because this is the 5th I've done in less than 2 months. So.
Well, I can't see why there'd be a problem. I mean, it's organic mushroom compost, and
it is.
you know, so.
And I've used these this brands throughout my garden for the last over 3 years, and I've had really good results.
Well, there you go.
So I have no hesitation.
Yeah.
Next, we've got a layer of aged chicken manure.
Oh yes, beautiful.
Yep. I dug this out a few weeks ago.
You don't need much of that stuff, do you?
Not really.
The old chicken manure. Yeah. More biochar.
Just spread.
Yep.
Spread it around.
Did you want that other bag over here?
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for years. This is the mix that really works for you?
Pretty well, yeah. Pretty well. You don't want all garden soil. You don't want all soil from a landscape yard, and you don't want all bagged soil either.
Or you don't want all compost either.
No,
Yeah.
no. It's the Goldilocks soil.
Yeah. Little bit of everything.
Yep.
Just right.
And ideally, I'd probably have a bit more garden soil in here, but I just don't have it at the minute. So
which doesn't really matter, hey?
yeah, that's right.
Because over time you'll add it in, or it'll break down anyway, and you're going to add more in. And
you're always topping up garden beds.
Yes.
So,
But this has been your kind of formula roughly, which is getting obviously fantastic results.
Yeah, we're going to use this thing called Turner Compost Fertiliser. I found it on Marketplace. It's an old guy who makes it himself from chicken manure.
Okay, I was going to guess that. I thought it might have been.
I've been using it since I bought it in November or December.
Yep.
Yep.
And when are you going to add this in?
Now.
Oh, now, okay. Yep. Turner Compost Fertiliser.
Yep.
That's an interesting name, but it's made from chicken manure.
Yep.
Yeah, it's odourless. It must be really well aged.
Apparently it is.
And you're just going to, is that about it? 2 cups worth?
Yeah, that's about it for this bed.
For this size bed. 2 cups worth of that. And what's that, a blood and bone? Oh, that's one of my faves.
Classic.
Yeah.
The classic.
It does work, doesn't it? Yeah. And only about a cup of blood and bone for this size bed. Just mixed in nice and lightly. Yeah.
And that's it. Now we just need to water it and mulch it.
Okay.
The wicking bed is done.
You're not bringing it right up to the top, generally? You prefer to have a bit of a lip on it?
Yeah.
So probably 6 inches from the top of the soil?
Yeah, and as I said, I'll it'll be topped up all the time.
Yeah, and by the time you put the mulch on, it'll probably be a bit more up anyway. And did we talk about the growing medium, how much growing medium you really need? I mean,
No, we didn't. And
because
it should be a maximum of 30 centimetres.
30 centimetres or lower than a foot in the old language, maybe 3/4 of a foot and less, because if it's too high, your plants then can't wick up that liquid, the nutrients and the water. But I'm thinking if you wanted to fill it right up to the top, you could though, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could definitely fill a bit more than this.
Yeah.
But this will be adequate to start with.
Yes, Especially, this is going to break down heaps anyway. Because of the hugelkultur to begin with, you'll get a fair bit of sinkage in the first couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it'll slow down. Yeah.
Now we'll just put a good layer of mulch on.
Okay. So you wouldn't plant straight away into this, you're just going to let it settle for a few days?
I probably would,
Yeah. Well, you can never have enough mulch.
Mulchy. Where's the merch?
Yes.
Where's the merch?
The merch is coming on the new website. So, coming soon. And you're just tucking this, are you?
I'm tucking it. You can cut it off.
Yep.
It's no drama. I'm just tucking it in.
Yep.
It's no big deal. So now what we want to do is fully secure the inlet pipe to the outside of the IBC itself. I've already drilled a couple of little holes there in the side and popped a cable tie through. Now I'm going to do that up and secure it. And I will cut off the excess pipe with a Stanley knife. And that's that.
Putting a piece of cloth or a cap or something over the top of that when you're not watering it. Yeah.
Exactly. There's millions of things you can do there.
Okay.
I'm just going to tuck the fabric over.
Well, that's a good idea.
For the moment.
Well, that does. That
Yeah,
works.
a couple
Doesn't
of
give it a water in. Yeah.
Lots of water.
Yep. Do you just water through the top, or you wouldn't put it through the pipe now?
You can do either. I'm just watering it through the top so everything gets soaked. It can settle.
And basically, you stop when you see it coming out of the outlet there.
Yep.
This type of growing might even help plants establish a better root ball and a better deep root growth, than other methods.
Yeah, because it's not only that they have access to water, it's that they have access to water constantly and consistently, and they can take exactly how much they need.
The enemy of food crops is inconsistent watering. That's probably one of the main enemies.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the times you have split skins on your tomatoes.
Yeah, true.
Drooping leaves.
Yeah.
Rotten potatoes.
Yeah.
It's easily done.
Bitter veggies or bitter lettuce, for example, salad crops because they've been going dry, getting stressed, and then getting watered and coming back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's running out now.
There it is.
Here we go.
Well, yeah, that didn't take too long, maybe half an hour.
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
I think it helps wetting down that layer of cardboard and bigger pieces as well.
Oh, as you go.
Can get stuck.
Yeah, and the sand as well, yeah. And I see you using the hose link.
Love hose link. It is like the luxury of hoses. Oh my goodness, it's your fault too. You're the one that put me onto them.
Links on the website.
Yeah.
Is that it then? The water's running out?
Yeah, that's all we need to do. You can neaten up your fabric and that, of course.
Yeah.
And as we said, it will sink a bit and then I'll fill it up a bit.
All right. Well, that's great. What a project. I really love the combination of the IBC, so you're reusing something that's secondhand, repurposing, you're then making something that makes it easier for your veggies to grow in. And it's just such a great idea. So you're helping to limit the resources, especially water, which we've had a wet summer. You mightn't have had as much rain as us, but we've had a really wet summer. But we often get very dry summers, and this is the type of thing that conserves water, but also allows your plants to drink as much as they like, hence they grow so well. And then you're combining that with the hugel culture, and you're getting all those beautiful, even worms and microbes and biochar and minerals and nutrients in there. You're utilising all these things from your yard as well, and your chickens.
Reusing chicken manure, I'm reusing cardboard boxes, newspaper, my tree clippings, my own garden soil that I've made. Lots of stuff. And I mean, this is the only kind of garden bed that doesn't waste water. Yeah, well, I think you've sold it. You've sold it to me. I bet Celia's sold it to you guys as well. Thanks a lot for hosting us here. This is the first time I've been to your place. Should have been here a lot earlier. I'm so jealous of how well you've done in such a medium-sized space. Wow, you do a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful, beautiful garden, and this is such a great idea, and I'm glad that you've shared it with us today.
Yep, no worries. And
Thank you.
And don't forget, you can get step-by-step instructions on how to build these wicking beds on selfsufficientmen.com.
You're just the best. The best website editor ever. Okay, all right, thanks. Well, what did you think of that? I really got a lot out of it. Like you saw in the video, this was the first time I've been to Celia's place, and I was quite overwhelmed at how well she does. She runs a business on her own, plus she works as our website editor. So that's two things she juggles and a whole lot more. And then she does all that gardening to produce food. Can't wait to get back there again and have a look at what else she's growing in another season. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like Celia said, visit the website. We are getting some upgrades done. So you will see that the website at the moment, it looks a bit like the old Pinterest days. Well, we're going to change that and we're going to upgrade it so that it looks a lot more modern. Plus, we're going to bring in some really interesting and good tools for you guys to be able to use and find the information that you need. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Cheers.